What is up, guys? My name is Bailey and welcome back to another one of my videos. In this video, I just wanted to go over whether or not helium mining is still worth it. Now, before I jump into all those key points, whether or not you should be buying a helium miner or continue investing money into these hotspots, or if you should just stop buying them altogether and maybe even sell off your hotspots in the current market. Now, before I go over all that information, if you guys enjoy this type of content, make sure you smash that like button for me. If you guys want more content like this, where I go over anything related to crypto or anything related to helium, make sure to hit the subscribe button down below and turn on post notifications so you guys don't miss any content I upload in the future. And without any further ado, let's just jump straight into the video and talk about those key points. Now, if you've been following the Helium project for some time now, you guys know that the amount of hotspots on the network has been growing exponentially. Every single day there's going to be more hotspots added to the network, which means that everyone who already has a hotspot potentially earns less. So now you're sharing all the profits and all the earnings with even more hotspots, and as this project continues to grow, the amount of earnings you'll earn will be decreased day after day. Now, this might seem like it's not worth it at all, but just know that for people who are investing into this project, they are doing this long term. They're not trying to cash out quickly. They're trying to get as much helium as they can now and hope that the price of HNT will go up, as they do have the halving events that happens every 2 years. So that is one thing that I would preface this, is that it may not be worth it short term, but it is definitely worth it long term if you do believe in the project. Now, the second reason why I think the Helium project is still worth getting into is because there's a lot of manufacturers out there that are producing these HNT miners. So if you wanted to grab one of these miners, it's fairly accessible and the price has come down drastically. When I first wanted to buy one, they were all on back order. If you followed me in the past, you guys know that my very first helium miner that I purchased is actually a resale miner. So I bought a rack hotspot miner for about $2,000 to $3,000 on eBay. Now, that miner has paid off for itself if I want to sell off the HNT that it's already mined, but like I said, I'm holding it long term, so I'm not selling any of it. And with that, right now, the current price of miners can be around $500 to $800 for a miner. Now, I am an affiliate with the COTX manufacturer, and they do have their miner for sale for $499. And if you guys want to pick one up, I'll leave the link in the description down below. I also have an affiliate code with them, which will save you a little bit of money, and that'll save you about 15 bucks off of your order. So that code is just my name, Bailey Chu. If you use that, it does support the channel, and it does save you some money if you do end up buying one of these helium hotspots. Now, the third reason why I think the helium miners are still worth it is because it is passive income. You pretty much plug it into the wall for power, then you plug it into your router or connect it to Wi-Fi, then you're pretty much good to go. You kind of set it up and you forget about it, and you just continually produce income on it. Even if you're only making, 50 cents to $1, that's still 50 cents to $1 more that you wouldn't be earning by doing nothing. So I love passive income. Who doesn't love passive income? You plug it in, let it be, and you start earning money. And if you're doing this for the long term, that 50 cents to $1 can be worth more, because then let's say the halving happens and the price of HNT doubles, then that 50 cents to $1 will not be between $1 to $2 every single day, so on and so forth. So those are the reasons why I think helium mining is still worth it in 2022. I'm going to go ahead and jump into my computer behind me and kind of show you guys the helium map, go over some of the numbers, and go over some of the helium miners that I would purchase if I still wanted to buy more. Now, let's just go ahead and jump into the computer behind me and just show you guys all of the numbers. So here is the Helium Explorer map. You guys can see that the helium map compared to last year is much greener because there are a lot more helium hotspots on the network. You guys can see on the left, there's a lot of statistics on here, a lot of facts. So right now there's about 707,000 helium miners on the network. If you click onto that, you guys can see that the 30-day trend, it has climbed quite significantly. So in the last 30 days, it went from 629,000 all the way up to 707,000. So almost 100,000 miners have been on the network that got added in the last month or so. So that is pretty intense if you ask me. It just continues to climb, and it is only going to be a higher number from here on out. But what I wanted to go over is whether or not you should be buying one for your household. So if you currently do not have one where you currently are located, so I live in Utah. As you can see that the map is quite green here. I'm just going to jump into one of these cities. You can see that there's a lot of helium hotspots in one little section. So this section right here has 6 of them. This one has 4. This one has 2. So it all depends on where you're located. But even if you aren't making that much, like I said before, I still think it's worth just getting one of them. So let's just start off and let's just stay right here and let's look at this section. So this section has 4 helium hotspots. And the last 30 days, it's made 1.59 for this specific helium hotspot. This one 4.1, 5.78, and 3.62. So if you were to take those numbers for the last 30 days and multiply that by the current price of helium, so the current price as of today, April 7th, is $22.61. So if you were to take the average, let's say you made 3 helium every single month, multiply that by $22, you're making essentially $66 of just having this be plugged in to your internet and your power. Now, you don't need to really worry about how much power it consumes. It's not like an ASIC miner or a GPU miner where it takes, a couple bucks to $100 a day in electricity. This one is very little to compare it to a light bulb. If you plug in a light bulb, it's essentially the same amount of energy a light bulb would take. So you're making about $66 on average every single month. That's if the price stays at $22 and you're doing nothing. So if you bought this miner for, let's say, $500, in about 7 months' time, you'll make back your return. But that's if the price does not go up. So if you're bullish on the HNT price, then it could be a shorter time frame on when you make your return on investment. So that one right here, is this my location specifically? I'm just going to jump into this one that has 5 helium miners. And you can see that some of these are not making that much. And there's always a lot of factors that play into it. If your house is elevated or if you want to buy an antenna that is on top of your roof, you can obviously make more money. Where I'm currently located, I don't have an antenna on my roof, but I do have a second story that I can put my helium miner on. So I tested it in the attic. I've made a video of that in the past. But the attic surprisingly did not make as much money as it does right now because I had a longer cord which lowered the dBi from the helium miner to the antenna and to the router. But right now where I have it as is I have it attached to a tripod. Well, I have the antenna attached to the tripod, which is next to the helium hotspot, which is next to the router, and it's kind of tucked away in a corner near a window, and that's on the second story of my home, and that is essentially making me about $5 to $6 every single day. That fluctuates, but it's doing pretty well. It's probably the best one that I currently have as far as my whole helium fleet. I do have a handful of helium miners out there, and the downside with the helium miners and managing all of them is that sometimes you do have issues with them going down, which kind of can cause a headache. So that's why I would recommend just at least getting one of them and testing it. And if you can deal with the headache, then continue to pour more money into more helium miners and more locations. So, like I said, that is only for Utah, but if you live somewhere else, let's say New York, I was planning on traveling to New York to go look at a helium location out here, just so that I could put more helium miners kind of all over the place, because I do have some just sitting in my home, not really earning any money. So I was looking in New York, let's see here. I was going down here. So depending on where you're at in New York, so let's just go here, for example. So this is kind of near the Hudson Bridge, and this location is doing fairly well. So each one is making a little bit under 2 HNT. Again, that's not a ton of money, but it's still better than nothing. If you go somewhere more populated, so let's go to like Manhattan, or let's go to Brooklyn actually. So Brooklyn, New York, you can see that every single square inch is filled here. There's not a single spot that is not filled, and there's a ton. You can see right here, there's 64 hotspots in this one location, and that is insane. So some of these are earning 0 HNT for the last 30 days, while some of these are earning, less than 1 HNT every 30 days. So it just depends on where you're located and which hex that you're in. If you were in a hex that had 6, then you'd obviously be earning a little bit more than some. So this one was able to earn 4.4 the last 30 days. And like I said, tons of factors depending on your location, the height of the antenna, the type of antenna, what kind of cables you have. So you just have to do your research to see what kind of gains on the antenna will be most beneficial, and also if your location is even worth getting that type of antenna. So I would definitely go onto the Helium map and kind of see how much you can earn in your location and see what kind of competition you're kind of dealing with. And if you don't have one, I would still recommend putting at least one of them at your house just to see how it performs, because you'd be surprised sometimes your house would be earning a little bit more than the person down the street from you, just because your house is a little bit higher than theirs, or just because you have a better visibility of other antennas. So that's it for the map. I just wanted to go over the pricing on eBay as well as the COT-X miner. So if you jump on eBay, you can buy it on eBay, but just kind of be wary about buying it on eBay, as I have heard of some scams going on eBay. But you can see that the average price is around $549. If you click on sold listings, you can see what it's currently sold for. So this person sold their rack hotspot for $440. So that's a pretty good deal if you just wanted to get one Helium miner, or if you wanted to get a COT-X miner, you can go on their website. Like I said, it's about $500. Use my code, you'll save 15 bucks off. But what's cool about this miner is that you do have a display screen, so it gives you more information, like your IP address if you want to set up the port forwarding, which was, let me tell you, a headache when I was doing it with the rack hotspot miner. Since I have so many devices connected to my internet, I have so many IP addresses with each single device, so I just cycled through all of them to figure out which one was the correct Helium hotspot. But you can go on here and click on it and purchase it. They do have them in stock, so whichever one you want to go with, they pretty much do the same, just some of them have more features. So like I said, the affiliate code to support the channel as well as save you some money on this COT-X Helium miner is Bailey Chu. That is pretty much what I have for you guys in this video. If you guys enjoy this type of content, make sure you smash that like button for me. If you guys want more content like this, hit the subscribe button down below and turn on post notifications so you guys don't miss any content I upload in the future. And if you guys have any questions at all regarding this or anything I mentioned in the video, make sure to drop it down in the comment section down below, and I'll catch you guys all in the next video. Peace.